boys getting canceled again. You know, we got this YouTuber here. His name is August the Duck, and he titled his video, "This Prey Catcher has gone too far." And funny enough,
Oh
this is
my
actually
gosh.
his second video that he's made about me. You know,
And it's
he
got
double-backed on your boy.
Bro, some hating ass niggas got 207 views. 207,000 views. How are people watching his videos when he's trying to do something good? Jidion is bad. Yeah, he's got to be one of these pedophiles, bro. That's upset that he's got
the thing
got
that
put
he
on.
critiques about me in this video is the thing that you would just least believe. Like, you would think out of all the things you can critique about my prey catches, the thing that he actually goes in and harps about is like, what? But man, without any further ado, let's get into this.
This is crazy, bro.
See what you got to say.
Now, we've talked many times about content creators who make content that is thinly veiled as this attempt to like better society or benefit the people around them, when in reality, the only reason that content is being made is because it's benefiting the person who makes it. It's not helping out the people that they claim it is, and a lot of times it's actually at their expense. And one of the most common kinds of content that I see this problem arise is with the whole predator catching genre that seems to be pretty popular these days. And today, I feel like I have some pretty strong evidence that one of the biggest guys who does this is maybe not in it for the right reasons.
So Duck, the commentary YouTuber who makes videos
That's
about
actually
Jack
the guy,
and
bro.
videos about me and internet drama.
Oh
says
my
that he
gosh.
has solid evidence that shows that I am not in this for the quote-unquote right reasons. Really, in this instance, the only opinions that matter to me and that I actually would take to heart is what my audience thinks, what my family thinks, what the police departments think,
right?
And most importantly, what my peers that are also in the prey catching community think. Those are the
this is
that I care
crazy.
about, and I think that those go way further than a commentary YouTuber. But let's get into his evidence.
Basically, I don't really think the whole predator catching genre of content is one that really belongs on YouTube. I don't really think it's one that should be made at all.
So, Duck, you don't think that this content should be made at all, but on your channel, Chris Hansen is actually one of your favorite creators, and you make multiple videos about him, and I saw this clip of you saying this right here.
And I used to cover the show To Catch a Predator quite often. I love that show. I think it's morbidly hilarious, and I think what Chris Hansen did was very valuable.
So help me out real quick, Duck. I don't know if you know.
See what a hater gets in and is making all this hate stuff because the nigga's doing good. Imagine you're on your own YouTube video saying that you love to watch the show, but you hate somebody else doing it. Why? They're essentially doing the same thing. Chris Hansen wasn't police, was he? He worked with them, but why is Jidion not allowed to do it? Hating ass niggas, bro.
Know this, but Chris Hansen actually posts all his catches on YouTube. So my question to you is, should Chris Hansen stop posting these catches on YouTube? And also, should he stop doing it entirely?
Thank you.
I don't really think it's one that should be made at all.
You see, I'm in the belief that this is a very, very dangerous rhetoric, because just on my channel alone, we have caught multiple registered offenders that have actual victims that have been let out and are trying to do it again. So I know you're in the belief that, you know, predator catchers really don't help anything, but, you know, I think me and my audience are in the belief that we do help. I mean, if you guys watch my videos, we literally have police commending us on the work that we do.
Thank you all the time.
Look, so I respect the hell out of what y'all do, because I agree with it 100%. Like, these guys, those type of people need to get caught. So I'm going to do my justice and write up what I know and everything like that.
Y'all be safe, man, doing this, man.
Well, yes, sir. Thank you. Do you guys need anything else from us?
I'll give you a call.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro, be safe. Good job, guys. Another one bites the dust.
Thank
D,
you.
thank
Not
you,
even
bro.
just in me, there's multiple channels out there with 100+ convictions, not arrests.
Whoa.
Conviction. Alex Rosen, People vs. Predators, Black Hebrew. These men all together have almost over 500 convictions
This
of
is crazy,
predators
bro.
that are trying to prey on children.
Oh my
I think
gosh.
that is something that should stay on YouTube.
Absolutely.
And I think that is something that should be created. And I mean, Duck, if we weren't able to post these on YouTube and if we weren't able to create them, how else would you react to these Chris Hansen videos, man?
To Catch a Predator might just be one of the greatest TV shows ever created.
Bro, this is crazy.
But before we begin, I want to talk about today's video sponsor, MyHeritage.
No,
here we go.
No, we're not gonna give you no ad time here, but
Little freak.
this ad is gonna come up later. Trust me.
Golly.
And let's get back to it. Personally, I'm of the opinion that people really shouldn't be taking the law into their own hands, especially when it comes to something as sensitive as this.
I just love that he's trying to make this point, because the point of a vigilante is someone that takes the law into their own hand. But the thing about people like me, Oma, Skeeter, Alex, is we don't take the law into our own hands. We report everything to the police. We are snitches. We love
Thank
the
you.
police. That's why every
Bro, if there's any occasion to do it, this is the occasion, bro. Snitch, bro. Do not feel no way about it, bro. This is the reason. If you're gonna do it,
video,
this is
we
it.
always get the police involved. Now, I got a question for you guys. If someone had a drug dealer hit them up, and said drug dealer said, "Hey, I want to meet you here to sell you drugs," and you gotta go meet them there, and they confess to you to everything, saying, "Yes, I have the drugs and I do want to sell it to you," you then call the police, and the police arrive and they arrest them. Are you a vigilante, or are you just a citizen reporting a crime? It's the same thing with these EDPs. They come out, they admit that they're coming to meet a young cupcake, and all we do is just report it to the authorities. We are just citizens.
Do I support the guys who are doing stuff like that? Well, no, not really. But also, I don't really care if you find yourself in a situation like that, because you shouldn't have been putting yourself in a situation like that. So don't get me wrong, the treatment or like the consequences that these guys face is not the issue I have with this content. If anything, it's really the lack of consequences that they face and the reasons that the guys making this content are doing it. Some are better than others, don't get me wrong. Some of these channels seem
I don't get how he's got a problem. I don't understand how this nigga has a problem. I'm so confused. Like literally so
to have
confused.
managed to get in with local law enforcement, or they've developed a better understanding of what exactly they need for the cops to actually be able to do something. But
Right,
still,
just
you
mad for
should
no
probably
reason.
just be leaving this kind of shit up to, you know, law enforcement.
I mean, I agree as well. I wish that all these dudes would face legal consequences. From
Thank
all
you.
the groups that I've worked with, from Oma to Skeeter to Alex to so many others, and my decoys that do it on their own, I know that every single case is solid and these dudes are guilty and they should all be convicted. But you're making it out here seeming like, yo, these dudes are just getting out scot-free and, you know, there's no consequences. Brother, this video that you made is about me. So me alone, I have almost 4 million subscribers.
Talk about
Each
it.
of my videos literally
Talk
get
about it.
millions upon millions of views just on YouTube. That's not even counting Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, all those other platforms. And so you're telling me that a guy that's getting blasted out to millions upon millions of
Exactly,
people,
almost
to be
4
known as a
million people, bro.
predator, that isn't a consequence? I don't know about that, buddy.
Because a lot of the times these guys aren't working with the police, or they don't get the right information, they don't capture the right evidence, and all they've done is create a more careful predator who's going to face no consequences. And if you can't understand why people creating more careful and more aware predators while they're trying to put predators behind bars is a bad thing, well, don't know how to explain that one to you.
Well, I don't know how to explain to you that it's hard to be a careful predator when everybody in the world knows that you're a predator, but I can't explain that one to you.
But like I
So
was saying, one of the main
dumb.
issues
Oh
I
my-
have
I hate people that just, for someone that does YouTube, to hate on another YouTuber, I don't get it. I'm just like, bro, why would he hate on this nigga, bro? He's trying to do something good. Chill on him, bro.
with this kind of content, and what we're really talking about today is that a lot of the
Golly.
guys who do this almost forget, I guess, what exactly it is they're doing and what the goal really should be. Because like I was saying earlier, I think a lot of these dudes end up doing this only to benefit themselves, not really to protect potential victims of child predators. And to sort of highlight this, we're going to be looking at this clip from our old friend Jidion.
So now that he's about to talk about me, there's a couple things that I realized while watching his video that I wanted to point out to you guys. In this particular video, sadly, we did not get the arrest, but we did call the authorities, they did put him in cuffs, and they did take his phone and everything, and they made a report about him. But what I realized is in August's video, he never at one point showed any of the police presence in the original video. All he showed in the background is just me talking to the guy. So I just find it funny how he talks about, yeah, they never get police involved or anything like that. And while he's showing a visual representation, when in fact in the original video we did have police involved. And I also find it funny that out of all the videos to make a video about me in, he decides to pick one where we didn't get the arrest, but the 3 before that, we got arrest in all 3 of those. So I just find it funny that he specifically picks the video that we didn't end up getting the arrest, and he specifically doesn't show any of the police presence. And later on in the video, I noticed another thing, but I'm gonna get into that later.
The clip that we're talking about today kind of caught me off guard because a lot of people have sent me Jidion's predator catching content, and really, if I'm being completely honest, I thought it was kind of some of the better stuff on YouTube when it comes to that genre. It's not perfect, don't get me wrong, I still wouldn't call it like good necessarily. It has all the issues that all this kind of content has, but Jidion does seem to normally try and get what the police need to do something, and a lot of his videos do end with these guys getting arrested. Now, I don't know how many of them have actually been charged. It's probably not that many. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Correct me if I am, please.
You see, if you're going to be making a video critiquing me, I think it should be in the best interest, not even for yourself, but for your audience that doesn't know who I am, to at least do the bare minimum of research. But since you said, please correct me, let me help you out.
But it does seem like the majority of these videos do end with a guy in cuffs. He
Wait a minute,
seems to
there's a way,
generally
boy.
take it pretty seriously. He's not just going out trying to like beat these guys up for fun. He confronts them professionally. It doesn't ever seem like he's really just trying to get a rise out of somebody for content. For the most part, it's pretty level-headed stuff. And as far as the genre goes, like I said, it's some of the better stuff on YouTube, I think.
Thank you for the glaze, even though it was only for 20 seconds.
Thank you for the glaze,
You kind of
bro.
did spend the first 5 minutes of the video.
He sounds so bitter, right?
Compare me to
Oh
other
my
people, you know,
gosh.
and we all know not everybody watches the entire video.
Like
but I
such
do
a bitter
appreciate the
baby.
glaze. But I do want
Golly.
to talk about the video title, because the video title is "This Prey Catcher Has Went Too Far." You know, I made a similar video with almost that exact same title, but those prey catchers that I was talking about in the example that I used was literally a YouTuber shooting a predator in the face
Oh
with
my
a paintball
gosh.
gun and not calling the police at all.
That's
And then
crazy,
my
bro.
Other example was literally 30 college students setting up a 21-year-old with an 18-year-old, and when that 21-year-old met said 18-year-old, they then attacked him and called him a P3DO. So those are my examples for these prey catchers went too far. So I'm just so curious, what could I have done that could warrant that title, in your opinion?
I think a lot of these guys sort of get to a point where they almost start to forget what they're doing, and maybe that's what we're seeing here. I'm going to show you guys the clip in full, and then we're going to go through it.
Wait, hold on. You made a 15-minute long video about me because you don't like the meme ad that I use to promote my website, that I use to fund my operations and pay my employees? So I got this whole video made about me because I put an ad in a prey catch video, and I guess he doesn't like that. But I also find it coincidental that you put an ad in a video about you not liking an ad in a prey catching video.
But before we begin, I want to talk about today's video sponsor, MyHeritage.
And I'm not dissing you on the fact that you put an ad in your video, get your bag. I just find it kind of weird that out of your last 18 videos, and you guys can go check, I counted, this is the only video that has an ad in it. So
This is
I just
crazy.
find it really coincidental that out of all the videos you could have put a MyHeritage ad in your videos, you chose the video that you don't like an ad
The
about.
most.
I don't know. I just find that funny, yo. I just find that funny.
But I really can't help but feel like editing something like this and making something where you're talking about what Jidion's talking about here in this style is in poor taste. To me, it's just a genre of content that should be treated a little bit more seriously, because these guys are trying to catch these predators. That's a completely different thing than, for example, making a video where you make fun of somebody who was on the show to catch a predator. Because when you're watching that show, you know that those guys are fucked. That show was done with law enforcement. They all got arrested. Like, you knew what was going to happen to them. With these guys, it's not really the same thing. Like, it's kind of weird to edit a video in this style when, like I mentioned earlier, you could just be making a significantly more safe, cautious, and aware predator who's going to be a more effective predator.
And you know what? You're totally entitled to your own opinion, and I'm actually gonna ask my audience, do you guys think I should tone down the ad? Do you guys think I should just make it just, just a regular thing? I wanna hear what you guys have to think. Bro, I don't know if Duck thinks I'm out here being like a mad scientist or something, creating super predators and stuff like that.
Right?
But Duck, listen, my man, literally every single time we make these videos, we always get law enforcement involved. They get their names, they get all their information. If they make the arrest, boom, they're in the system. If they don't make the arrest, boom, they're still in the system because they're making reports on them and they're taking their phones and they're doing all this, yada, yada, yada. And then also on top of all that, we're then blasting their face out to millions of people so that way their local community or maybe wherever else they may go to knows what these people are about. So, I don't know why you keep on saying I'm making super predators. It's hard to be a super predator when everybody knows you're a predator.
Like, we're talking about catching people who want to prey on children. Maybe limit it to one explosion effect? I don't know. Just a thought. Also, like, using EDP as like a meme in this advertisement seems like really, really poor taste, because that's like one of the biggest examples of how this stuff usually ends. EDP didn't go to jail. Nothing happened to EDP. Sure, he was banned off YouTube, but like, he didn't go to jail and then he got caught trying to do it again. Like, you're kind of exposing yourself here, guys. You're using the most famous example of why your content is kind of a bad thing and doesn't really work as a way to advertise your content. You're kind of showing your hand there that you don't really care if these guys don't actually end up going to jail.
Doug, how does it make any remote sense that I don't care about making sure that these guys go to jail because I use EDP as my advertisement? The reason why I use EDP is because he is synonymous with being a P3DO, because he made his name synonymous with being a P3DO. When you're a monster and you do something monstrous like that, your name's gonna always be associated with that. The same reason why we say Diddy all the time. Whenever you do something gross and disgusting, your name is gonna be associated with that. And I'm not gonna just let it fizzle out, We're gonna make sure it lives on forever and ever. I know you probably want it to fizzle out and no one talk about EDP again, but I think we all should always talk about him because we all should remember what he did.
Thirdly, it seems like conversations between a predator and what they think is a minor is a really, really strange thing to lock behind a paywall. Like, why would you want to read that? I mean, you want to read the chats between a guy role-playing as a little girl or a little boy and a man who thinks that they are a little girl or a little boy? Why the fuck would you pay for that? Like, that's crazy behavior. Selling it is just as weird. Like, you realize that's what you're doing, right, Jidion? You're essentially selling child predator roleplay transcripts. That's weird, dude.
Is it though? I mean, in Chris Hansen's videos, he literally does the readings of what these guys are talking about. Is it weird to read that stuff? If I could make it free for the internet to read, I would, because it would just show the internet even more that these dudes are guilty. But YouTube doesn't allow that type of content on the platform. So I have it behind a paywall for only $4.45 a month, and people can read it and they can get a better grasp on, wow, this dude is even worse than I thought from what I seen in the video. I mean, this might be hard for you to realize, but not all 13,000 of my members on EDPWatch.com are subscribed to the website to read the chat logs or be in the giveaway or even to watch the extended early cuts and all that. Some of them literally just pay because they appreciate the work that we do and they want to support financially. I mean, I can say the same.
I've never seen somebody so mad about somebody else doing something good. Never.
Same thing about why people would even buy your Patreon back in the day. Like, I don't know what you could have had behind that paywall that people wanted to pay for, but I'm guessing that they just wanted to support you. It just sucks that you took it down. So it's weird to read the chat log, but it's not weird to watch it on stream, right?
I can't go to jail.
You know?
My life would be ruined.
Right.
Could be locked up for 20 years.
Yep.
And then you say, do you trim your blank?
Okay.
This nigga's eating pizza, you know.
Right?
And then the whole like Disney sweepstakes shit where it's like you can win a predator catching experience. Like, are you shitting me? Jidion fans got really mad at me the last time I said this, but I'm gonna say it again. I'd have a really hard time believing that like the average Jidion fan is an adult. If you just read through the comments on his channel, you
I'm
can
at
kind
on
of
stage
tell
right
that
now,
that's
bro.
like not the
Yo.
case. Like, look, I'm gonna give Jidion the benefit of the doubt here and say that if he ever did this, that he'd probably make sure that it was an adult. But I mean, he doesn't say that in this advertisement, which you have to. So I don't know, man. That's just a little wacky for me, a little much. Again, even if he did say adults only, treating this as some sort of like fun, cool experience, like you would be meeting a person who wants to have sex with a child. Who the fuck wants to do that?
Every video that he makes about me, he has to always throw a shot at my fans. But to none the least, I do agree with him on this. The winner of the sweepstake is gonna be 18 or older. Like, I should have put that in there. It was in my mind to put that in there, but I'm gonna make sure in the next video that it is. So you are 1,000% right on that, Duck. But at the end of the day, what's weird about wanting to get a child predator arrested and also meeting your favorite YouTuber? I mean, you're a huge fan of Chris Hansen. If you want a giveaway to go do a catch with Chris Hansen,
Right.
Duck, be honest with me. Would you tell him no?
To Catch a Predator might just be one of the greatest TV shows ever created. And I really think the fact that Jidion or his team or whoever put this together thinks that the average person would be interested in that enough to pay for it really sort of shows some true colors and is indicative of these guys not doing this for the right reason. You should not be having fun doing this. Reading chat logs from guys who have no issue exploiting and ruining the lives of children, meeting up with them, making jokes about it. These are not things that I think you should really want to do.
So, Duck, you're mad at me for doing something that I know that my audience that love watching the prey catching videos would love to be a part of. Like, I mean, I know it's weird to you, but to shame a bunch of other people for wanting to participate in that,
What I do?
think is a little bit beneath you, man. And I honestly thought better of you. All of a sudden, my paywall all of a sudden just discredits everything that I've done, and it automatically shows like, oh, yep, he's making money, so he's doing this for the wrong reason. Of course I have to make money. I have a team of over 20 people. That is how we're able to post 2 catches a week. We're traveling all over the US, Airbnbs, decoys, security, filmers, a whole bunch of editors. Yes, I need money so that way we can take care of all our people, because it's not just me doing the Lord's work. Everybody that works for me.
Bro, I've said this. I can't believe he's this mad because somebody's doing something good. I don't get it.
I consider them the exact same way, and everybody that watches the videos and support, I consider that they're helping this cause too. So it's a problem when I have a paywall, but it's not a problem when your goat has a paywall.
There are more than 100 episodes on our streaming service, ad-free and uncensored, at watchtrueblue.com. Use the code YouTube24 to watch them all for $2.50 or YouTube Year for $20 off an annual subscription.
Maybe they're seeing it differently. I don't really know how you would. To me, there is no reasonable explanation on the planet as to why you would be trying to sell the chat and audio logs of child predators, and I don't think there's a logical or reasonable explanation for the people buying it either. Everybody's weird in this. Well, guys, what do you think?
So yeah, guys, he hit us with the weird allegation.
All this comments, what does that mean? Someone look into this, Doc. Sounds like he's hoping you don't catch him. We support your hard work, Jidion. Thank you. Like, bro. No beard. That's I was like, who's this nigga in the Jidion? Hmm? Oh, Is that guy's name August? That hating ass guy.
Those are the one allegations that you just can never beat. So we just got to pack it up here, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please do not go and send him any hate at all. Genuinely, it is all love and everything. And a couple things I am going to be taking into critique and everything, but mostly I want to hear what you guys think. Should I tone down the ad? Should I make it different? I want to know from my audience, not from his opinion. I want to know from you guys, because you guys are the ones that are supporting this cause. And so whatever you guys says goes. But man, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll be posting a catch this week. Peace.